What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had a game against the new look Phoenix Suns, and altogether for 3 quarters it was a very exciting game. Back and forth, we showed that we could, I guess, keep up with the Phoenix Suns in many ways, but by the time the 4th quarter comes around, once again the Bulls just don't seem to have that backbone in them to continue to fight, and they end up crumbling, falling, and disappointing in the 4th again. And it made it look like we played a much worse game than we actually did, which altogether is extremely disappointing, and which is why I'm very frustrated about this game in total. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall game today, your player of the game performer, your thoughts and opinions on how well or how poorly the Bulls played. We lost this game 104 to 125. Phoenix were overall the better team, I'm not going to deny that. And look, I even made a video saying why I feel like the Bulls had a chance to win this game. But in almost every single part of that video, I said 4 or 5 times that we were not the favorites to win. And that turned out to be the case. And I'm not even mad about the loss. I think a lot of people expected us to lose this game. I was somewhat impressed by the first 3 quarters. We really did keep up with them. We showed that we could, I guess, have some good moments against the Phoenix Suns. What I am upset about is this Bulls team's mentality in the 4th quarter. It's bizarre. Again, I said it a couple of videos ago. I'm absolutely stunned how we've turned to one of the best 4th quarter teams last season in the NBA. Not even close. Not a lot of teams could compete with us. We had the statistics advantage as well. DeMar DeRozan was the clutchest player in the NBA last year, to now being one of the worst 4th quarter teams in the NBA. And I truly believe we are the worst 4th quarter team in the NBA. I don't know the stats behind that. If you guys know the stats behind that, let me know in the comments below. But we're surely up there, and in my opinion, we are the worst. Our mentality just completely shifts once we enter that 4th quarter. No lead is safe in the 4th quarter for the Chicago Bulls. And of course, if we concede a lead by the 4th quarter, that lead can most definitely get bigger, which is exactly what happened today. And I just can't explain it. I don't know the reason why. And it could be a variety of reasons. Again, a lot of people are going to blame the coaching staff once again, as they should. But I think it's more than that. I feel like we just switch off. Our energy levels drop and everything in between. And it feels like we don't compete hard enough in the 4th quarter to win these games. It almost feels like we put all of our energy into the first 3 quarters and then we're gassed out by the 4th. So again, I don't know what it is. And look, I've said it all season, it's not just the 4th quarter. We lost 3 out of the 4 quarters in this game, realistically. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we lost 3 out of the 4 quarters of this game. So it's clearly not just the 4th quarter, but that is the biggest quarter. That's the quarter where you have to show up. And last season, that wasn't an issue for us. This season, it seems like it's an issue. It's probably the biggest issue that we have. And it's just really disappointing. I hate it. I absolutely hate how the Bulls proceed to play 4th quarters. I never ever look forward to 4th quarters anymore, because I know this Bulls team can choke it within a blink of an eye. To blow a 21-point lead to the not to the Phoenix Suns, sorry, to the Detroit Pistons last game. Yes, we won the game, great. But then you move over into this game, and what was a 10-point lead turned into a 21-point lead for the Phoenix Suns overall. So what am I supposed to say? I liked the Bulls' first 3 quarters. I did. I thought we competed fairly well with them. And I like when the Bulls compete with good teams. But it just makes them feel... It makes it look like they played worse than they actually did. And I said that before. But that's how I feel. And I think it's embarrassing that they allow that every single time. Where is the pride to compete in all 4 quarters? We're crying out for some pride, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't seem to have any. But again, it is what it is. I'm not terribly upset with the loss because I kind of expected it. I thought we did have a chance, and for 3 quarters it felt like there was still a chance there. But Phoenix got the job done in the 4th quarter, and I guess that's really all I've got to say about that. Let's talk about some of the problems that I had with this Bulls team today. First and foremost, the offensive rebounding was still a big, huge problem for the Chicago Bulls. Rebounding wise, I do think we got out-rebounded in total, but offensive rebounding wise, we got out-rebounded by a lot. And again, you give Phoenix Suns more shots, they're going to win the game, especially with their offense. It shouldn't even be, I guess, a debate how much how much points they can score with their big three or big four at the moment with DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. That's an incredible offensive, I guess, unit to have. And you even got a Koji in there dropping incredible amount of points. So you can't give that team multiple opportunities to score because they will score. And that was another big problem for the Bulls. Once again, another one that we've come to see, another one that we've come to expect. And yes, I'm very disappointed by that. What I didn't like about this game as well is obviously when it comes to the Chicago Bulls side of things, I just think at the end of the day, we allowed some of their role players to get really hot very early. And look, the best thing about that Phoenix Suns team now is that you can't double team any of them. You can't double team Chris Paul because he'll find the open man. You can't double team Kevin Durant because you got a Koji that's going to be shooting a lot for them, and he had an incredible game today, and Devin Booker as well. And you can't really double team Devin Booker because that will leave one of the other guys open as well. And DeAndre Ayton is just a very, very big weapon in the paint as well. So you can't double team any of these guys. You really can't, because they have multiple ways to make you pay now. Yeah, their defense may have taken a hit, but to be honest, structurally their defense is still solid. Offensively, that is going to be a very hard team to stop come playoff time, where you have to try to get some of these guys out of the game. But at the end of the day, with all of them playing, it's really, really hard to stop. I thought our best moments in the game was when they had one of their stars in the game, but most of their bench out there, which means our bench probably did a little bit better than theirs for the most part. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter either, because they always had one player there. But at the end of the day, let's just say for Kevin Durant, right, in the third quarter or in the early fourth quarter, he was the only starter out there with the bench unit. That's where I thought most of our success came from. And it was the same in the early second quarter as well. And I think that's the big reason why we won the second quarter. Let's not forget, we had a 16-1, I guess, moment in this game, and that gave us the lead at halftime. So there were moments in this game for the Bulls. It just wasn't enough. And yeah, the coverages I thought were wrong, but at the end of the day, can you really correct it? It was really that bad. Obviously, a lot of people will turn to Billy Donovan as well, his lack of adjustments and some of the wrong adjustments as well. You look at Patrick Beverley's performance today. He had 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists on the night, which is not very good for Patrick Beverley, in all honesty. But Io had a 8 points and 2 rebounds with 4 assists night. My apologies, I was reading Alex Caruso's stats. He also had 2 steals. So arguably, Io was probably the guy to go with down the stretch. But Billy Donovan is very stubborn, and he's with his ways. It's very disappointing to see him not make the right rotations and right adjustments. And he doesn't make adjustments on the fly. He's very much a standard follow the procedure head coach, no matter who's playing well or who's not playing well. Look, I give him respect for starting Patrick Williams. I don't care what anybody says. I think that was the right move. What I don't like, he didn't play Derrick Jones in this game, and I thought that was a necessity. And obviously, he didn't make very good adjustments whatsoever in this game. So look, there's nothing more I can say. The big three as well, Zach and DeMar played well. Vucevic was very disappointing in this game as well. That's really all I got to say. It was just an overall, it was an okay night filled with a very disappointing fourth quarter, and that resulted in a disappointing feeling and a disappointing result against the Phoenix Suns. And they're going to be a big threat in the NBA playoffs, and right now, what could have been an amazing week for us turns into a fairly okay week for us. I don't look at this game and this loss and say, oh my god, the Bulls had a terrible week. We lost to the teams I expected to lose to. We lost to the Raptors, I expected to lose to them, and we lost to Phoenix. I expected to lose to them as well. We beat the teams that we should have beaten, which is nice, but again, we just got to keep on pushing forward. Let's not get carried away. Let's not get disheartened by a loss like this. You just got to keep fighting. For some people, I've seen the comments really today as well. People want us to tank. I just feel like at this point, tanking is not going to happen. You don't sign Patrick Beverley to tank. So, yeah, I think the Bulls' aim is to continue to win, but now it just comes down to, I guess, whether or not that's going to be achievable for the Chicago Bulls. And knowing some of the games that we have next, there are some challenges there for us. So, it won't be easy, most definitely, but you got to find ways, ladies and gentlemen. It's really as simple as that. If you can't find a way to win some of these games, you're going to end up being extremely disappointed overall. Looking at the must improve, I'm going to pick Nikola Vucevic, I've got to be honest. I felt like for most of this game, he was very discouraged in terms of his performance. I don't necessarily think he was terrible. Again, I thought our rebounding was very, very poor, but I wouldn't put that on Vucevic or Andre Drummond. I think they both did their jobs respectively well. But again, I just felt like he was very disheartened. He didn't get a point. He only got one bucket in the second half of the game. So he went missing for a whole half. And yes, that's credit. That's, I guess, the Bulls not putting him in the plays, but it's also him airballing threes and him trying to take post hooks over two individuals and stuff like that. So I think he got it wrong today, and that's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to be out here screaming trade Vooch or Vooch is trash or anything like that, because for the most part he's been our most consistent player. So I'm not going to say that. But I think over the last couple of weeks, we have seen some fairly mediocre performances from him. So he needs to step up his game again. And we'll see what happens in the next time out. My player of the game, I'm going to pick DeMar DeRozan. I just thought at the end of the day, when we needed a bucket, DeMar DeRozan was the go-to guy. I think Zach LaVine at times got fairly frustrated, and he got a technical foul at the end of the day because of the foul calls that weren't given to him and stuff like that. You also got to consider, in my opinion, Zach LaVine really heated up in the second half of the game, where I thought DeMar DeRozan was solid for all 4 quarters. And that's really all I've got to say about that retrospect. And yeah, just a disappointing game. We move into the next one. Our next game is against the Indiana Pacers. We're 11th in the Eastern Conference, if I'm not mistaken. If we lose to the Indiana Pacers, that is the tiebreaker given to them, which means we have a tiebreaker over the Wizards and the Heat, I believe. But at the end of the day, we won't have the tiebreaker against the Raptors, and we won't have the tiebreaker against the Pacers. So this is a big game for the Chicago Bulls, and this is an opportunity for us to kind of, again, give us more opportunities to participate in the play-in. That's what we want to see at the end of the day. Most Bulls fans want to see us in the play-in at this point. Well, you got to beat the Pacers. This is a must-win game for the Bulls. And again, I think it's at home, so you don't have time to lose your home games, especially to opposition that you should be beating. This Bulls team should be beating the Indiana Pacers at home. Away from home, I'll give the credit to Indiana. They should beat us away from home. And they have beaten us away from home from time to time. At home, this should be the Bulls game, and I'll be very disappointed if we lose that one. But I'll end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.